Let's check out this report, and when we come back, we'll get to talk to him and others and see the way forward.
Established in 1992 by the Danyaseman community and the Catholic Church, is currently struggling with infrastructure. Absorbed by government in 2010 as a public senior high school, the facility can boast of nothing like other schools. Since its absorption into public school, the only story building in the school was built by the then District Chief Executive for Bekwai, Mary Jantua, but the school is yet to receive other infrastructure to boost academic activities. Some students say they feel uncomfortable learning due to the current state of the school, while others say the lack of a science lab is affecting science education in the school. The students are, however, calling on the government for urgent assistance, stating that the situation is affecting academic activities in the school.
As students, we feel unsafe and worried because our school has no walls to protect us. Animals and sometimes people enter the school compound freely, disturbing the lessons and damaging the environment. Some of our classrooms are also insecure, making learning difficult and uncomfortable. We truly want to study in a safe and peaceful place.
We are facing a lot of difficulties in our studies because the school does not have enough learning equipment, especially science apparatus. In many cases, we are only taught the theory aspects without any practical experiments, which makes it very hard for us to fully comprehend with what we've been learning so far. This situation is affecting our interest and performance in science subjects, and we feel disadvantaged compared to students in others.
Saturday evening, rainstorm caused serious damage to our school building. One of the buildings has been collapsed during the rainstorms, which has caused many serious problems in our school. Now, some of the classrooms are being carried out under trees and some are packed at the dining hall, which makes learning very difficult for us.
The head of the IT department of the school highlighted that the school lacks a fence wall which threatens students' lives during academic studies. He added that the only school structure which was built by the teachers has collapsed due to the heavy downpour on Saturday.
Very heartbreaking to witness the difficult conditions under which teaching and learning takes place in Danyaseman Catholic Senior High School. The school faces serious infrastructure challenges, which forces some of the classes to be pushed under the trees for lessons. Currently, we have classes that are overcrowded and some classrooms are in poor conditions. The recent rainstorm worsened the situation by damaging part of our structure, which has forced us to move some of the students under the trees for lessons.
And there you have it. That's the report. But luckily for us, we have our Ashanti regional correspondent who brought us this story on the line, and he can break it down to us. Hi, Taufik.
Hello.
How are you? You're welcome to the show.
Please, I'm well. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. Taufik, let's get straight into this story that you just shared with us. Can you paint a picture for us? What exactly did you witness at the school?
Danyaseman is a community located under the Bekwai municipality, and it's one of the 7 secondary schools in the Bekwai municipality. But currently, the school is faced with a lot of infrastructure deficit. The school has no fence wall as I'm speaking, and furniture too is another challenge for the school. And one interesting thing about the whole thing is that the little money that the teachers in the school have gathered to put up a structure also collapsed just recently. And aside that, the only, story building in the school was constructed way back in 2010 by the then former DC for the area, Mary Jantua. And aside that, they lack a lot of classrooms, and then ICT lab, science lab. So if you ask me, the Danyaseman Roman Catholic Senior High School currently is faced with a lot of challenges, and they need urgent assistance because per my engagement with some of the teachers and then some of the students, what they say is that currently whenever they have classes. Sometimes you see animals roaming on the campus. Sometimes too, some of the boys in town or some, residents around also come into the campus anytime that they want. So currently they are appealing that government should, come in to support them, and even other philanthropists can also come to help them. So if I want to pick the picture up of the school for you, this is how the situation is in the Danyaseman Senior High, Roman Catholic Senior High School in Bekwai.
Right. So have there been any previous attempts to fix the structures?
Come again.
Have there been any previous attempts to ever fix the structures?
Yeah. If you look at the situation, as I said earlier, we attempted to speak with to the MC for the area, but I called him more than 10 times. He didn't even answer my call. So what some of the teachers were saying is the MC currently, is not even interested in, coming in because recently they engaged a media house in Kumasi for them to have an interview, but the MC came in and its engagement with the media house, the interview didn't come on. So looking at it, it's a situation that needs, urgent attention.
Right. So how long has this school been in existence for?
Yeah. The school was established in 1992 as a private school, as a mission school, or how will I even put it, as a private school. So in 2010, government absorbed the school.
Right.
Yes. So in 2010, government absorbed the school. So since then, the school has not seen any major, infrastructure.
Okay. So would you say this is because of a growing number of students?
Yes, we can attribute it to that. But looking at the student population in the school, the student population is not that much. And my engagement with other staffs too, what they were saying is that sometimes when the student comes and they see, when the students come and they see this, the situation, and they don't come again. Yes, because I can't take my child to a school that lacks infrastructure.
Right.
Yes.
Is
so
it
sometimes when they come and they go on vacation, most of the students don't even return.
Right. Is it a day school or a boarding school?
It's a boarding school, and they even lack, dormitories as well.
Wow, they lack dormitories. So how do they manage?
Yeah, sometimes for the girls' dormitory, which I know, sometimes they try to, because of the number, sometimes they try to manage, and some of them even sleep on the floor, and even the boys' dormitory too, the same thing.
What about the parents? What are they saying about this? How do they feel about this situation?
The parents are doing their best, but they are doing their part. But the government has to also come in to support the parents, because PTA is saying that they are putting out funds to, help. But looking at the situation, it goes beyond them, because the little that they have, even if they do, they will still need government to also come in.
Okay, so you earlier spoke about one of the buildings that collapsed. What exactly happened to that building that collapsed? Was it because of a rainstorm, or it just fell on its own? What exactly happened?
Yeah, just recently there was a heavy rain for Bekwai that resulted to the collapse of the building.
Wow. That's actually very interesting. Any other immediate risks that they face?
Yeah. You see, aside the school having that infrastructure deficit, the road to even the school is also in a bad state. Because if the route to where the school is on the Anyankwanta. Okay. It's on the Anyankwanta to Manson Kwanta stretch, and that area, the road is very rough. That needs urgent attention because some of the teachers who come on campus normally say that sometimes they even delay for coming because of the nature of the road, which also affects their productivity. Because sometimes the teacher has to report in school, let's say by 8 a.m. and the teacher will come to school around 9. It's a challenge for them, so they are also calling on relevant stakeholders to also come in to also support them with the road infrastructure leading to the school.
All right, so that means we're not just talking about the school building, but this time the road that also leads to the school, because it affects these teachers. And
Yes.
also you talked about not having adequate learning materials or not having
Yes.
complete learning materials. As we saw in the
Yes,
report,
yes,
the lady was
yes.
talking about, you know,
Yes.
the lab materials and all that. But what are their grades like?
Like the lady said in the video, when I visited the school, I visited their science lab, their chemistry lab. In fact, they don't have any apparatus for students to even learn. So they normally rely on the theory aspect. And we know that science is practical. Science is practical. But here the kids, they don't have the practical, apparatus for them to use to learn. So it's also another situation, it's also another challenge that the school is dealing with. So what their head of science told me is that sometimes when he comes, he feels bored because of the nature of the science lab. So sometimes when they come, they will just read the books and then they will go back to classroom because of the lack of science apparatus.
Right, right. Thank you so much, Tafik. It was really nice talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Tawfiq Mohammed, who is our Ashanti regional correspondent right here on ChannelOne TV, and he has just explained the situation at Danyaseman Catholic SHS, where the students are actually studying under a dilapidated structure. And clearly, this is not the only problem that these children are facing. They are facing other problems like the lack of, learning materials. And it's so sad to see children of this age learning on the trees in 2026. 2026. And there are people who are still studying on the trees. At the first report that we actually saw, it was children. It was children in basic schools. They even talked about the kids in creche lying on their stomachs. And all the way in Ashanti region now, it's children in high school that are studying on the trees. There has to be something done about this if we are truly serious about the education in this country. And with this report, it just shows that everything is connected at the end of the day. If the teachers are going to be learning, they also need to be going through roads that lead them quickly and safely to the schools. But anyway, we actually have the senior house master of Danyaseman Catholic SHS, Mr. Osei Danso, on the line. Let's get to talk to him, and he can also share what his thoughts are on this issue. Hi, Mr. Danso.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you. And you?
I'm fine, thank you. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get straight into it. I'm sure you've already watched the report and you also actually experienced this firsthand. How would you describe the current state of the infrastructure of the school?
All right, so thank you very much for this opportunity, and good morning to your cherished listeners. First of all, let me make the point that I do not speak for the Ministry of Education.
Right.
Neither do I speak for the Ghana Education Service. But I am speaking to you as a concerned teacher of the school that the poor and deplorable conditions of the school affects, one, my professional competence, 2, academic work, and number 3, the general well-being of students in the school. Mind you, that these students are also people, children, and so they also need a dignified environment for academic work.
Right.
Now, since the school was absorbed by the government in 2010, there has not been any government intervention relative to infrastructure, apart from one boys' dormitory that was built in 2016. Apart from that, government has not intervened in any way as far as infrastructure is concerned in the school. Almost all the buildings that you see in the school are self-help projects that the school initiated. It will interest you to know that we have 8-unit classroom block in the school. This particular classroom block was started by teachers. In fact, teachers had to donate seed money to start the foundation of that building. And so the situation is very, very bad in the school. And I do not know, honestly, whether somebody has deliberately deleted the name of the school from the geographical map of the Ministry of Education or GES. Because since the absorption of the school, nothing has happened as we speak. Even though in spite of all the infrastructure deficits that we have, just last week, Saturday, there was a rain, and the wind that blew during the rain had raised down 3 classroom units block. And so as we speak, even though there are classroom deficits, now it has become worse. And so we have a major challenge in the school. 21st century Ghana, and we still have senior high school students studying under trees. As we speak, we have 4 classrooms under trees at Danyaseman Catholic Senior High School. And so our situation is very, very, it makes everything uncomfortable.
Right.
Teaching and learning, everything in the school has become, I don't know how to even describe it. So we have a major challenge as far as infrastructure is concerned at Danyaseman Catholic Senior High School.
Right. So what messages have been sent to the authorities, if you have actually tried to reach out to the authorities?
Of course, I cannot count the number of letters that we have written to those in government, corporate entities, individuals, and so on and so forth. But as we speak, we have not heard of anything.
All right. So how does this affect the students' morale and also their academic performance?
Well, teachers honestly are doing their part. The students are also doing their part. But like I said early on, the condition in the school makes teaching and learning very difficult for all of us. Now we have only 1 girls' dormitory and 1 boys' dormitory in the school. Originally, the boys' dormitory was supposed to accommodate only 200 students. But as we speak, we are now housing over 400 students in the boys' dormitory. so you can imagine the congestion and the inconveniences. The girls have worse conditions over there. And so you look at all of these and then you juxtapose it with academic activity.
Right.
In fact,
Right.
it is a big problem in the school.
Right. Right. Now, let's talk about their learning conditions. Has there ever been any accident or any near-missed accidents?
The most fortunate aspect of all these is that we have not recorded any casualties as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we pride ourselves with. Apart from that, nothing else.
Right, right. So before I let you go, what immediate interventions does the school urgently need now? If you have to prioritize them, can you share?
Of course, obviously it will be classroom block
Mm-hmm.
and dormitories, because these are major things that any senior high school needs, where the students will be housed and where they will sit and learn. So we are pleading with the government, we are pleading with all the stakeholders in education, individuals, corporate organizations, that we are facing, the Danyaseman Catholic Senior High School is facing a major challenge in terms of infrastructure. And so we are appealing to them that we need help. And so as with immediate effect, if nothing is done about the conditions in the school, I don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Osei. Thank you so much, Mr. Osei Danso, who's the senior housemaster of Danyaseman Catholic SHS. And if you can hear from his voice, you can see that he is not really happy about it. And he also gave a disclaimer before he started speaking. He gave a disclaimer as someone who is interested in the future of the children and also interested in the condition that the children find themselves in. This is not just about the children at the end of the day. This also involves everyone in that building, involve the teachers, even him, and also this is about the future of the country. For a nation that prides itself in education, children should not be sitting on the trees in 2026. I don't think it's fair to anyone. And education is not just about the curriculums, the textbooks, but it's also about the conditions that they learn in. It's also about the mindset that they actually have when learning. Because when you put children under the trees and, you know, expect them to do well, I don't think it's fair to anyone. I don't think it's fair to anyone. If we really care about the education of the future or leaders of the future, then we really need to eradicate this issue of furniture, people studying under dilapidated structures and all that. But I hope, you know, help comes through, and I hope those in charge have watched this and will actually sit up and do something about it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying tuned with us for the for us getting into our communities. We saw 2 communities and we brought the news to you, or we brought the situation to you, and we hope that some change really occurs ASAP.